Hi, it's the recipe portion, and this is definitely a sexy cupcake. If there ever was a sexy cupcake, if there was a cupcake that you needed to combine with fashion, then let me tell you something. The strawberry champagne Canna cupcake is definitely where it's at, and it would definitely be walking the catwalk. So let's get to this recipe, because we're going to be stepping up our chef skills just a little bit to pull this one off. We're going to have to use a few different methods, you might say. So we're going to be taking our granulated sugar and we're going to be making it a bit finer. Now, if you don't have a food processor and you can hit it for 30 seconds, then don't worry. Then you can just get a pilon or one of those mashers that are at the supermarket for grinding garlic and herbs, and you can pull it off with that. Also, we'll be using a paddle attachment in this recipe. Don't fret if you don't have a paddle attachment, then you can go old school style and use a whisk. Come on now, we're no babies here. Don't be huffing and puffing. We're going to just be making cupcake batter. We're not going to be blending fudge. So cool out. So listen, once we get into this recipe, it's going to be quick. It's going to be delicious. You know you need your whisk. You know you need your bowls. And come on, so I can tell you about these ingredients here. So we're going to need 430 grams of flour, 265 grams of sugar, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, half teaspoon of salt, 2 large eggs, 1.5 cups of rosé champagne. Now, if you don't want to use the rosé champagne and you want to do your non-alcoholic thing, then you can get that fizzy shit that you give the kids on New Year's Eve. No problems. You can fix it that way. So let's keep going. 57 grams of unsalted Canna butter, 56 grams of unsalted butter, half cup of Canna MCT coconut oil, 2 tablespoons of sour cream, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So listen, set your oven to 320 degrees and let's begin incorporating our ingredients. So listen, we're going to mix our dry ingredients first, okay? So blend together the flour, the sugar, the salt, get all of that together, and you're going to sift. Now listen, people, sifting is your friend. You don't want no clumpy shit, okay? We don't mess around like that, and especially if you don't sift with your icings, then you're gonna mess it up. And what do we aim to do here on Potheka Infused? We aim to not fuck it up. So listen, let's keep going. So we're going to incorporate our dry ingredients, sift them, whisk them, put them to the side, right? Then we're going to go grab our wet ingredients, not our butters, but just our wet ingredients. We're going to take our 2 large eggs. We're going to take our MCT oil, our sour cream, our vanilla, and our champagne, and we're going to put that all together, and we're going to get it a nice whisk until it's all blended, and we're going to go ahead and put that to the side. Okay, now we're going to come back over to those dry ingredients and we're going to incorporate all those butters, and we are going to blend it until it's like sand. Now come on, people, sand. All right, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out the consistency of sand. If you've never been to a beach, I don't know, consistency of dirt a little bit, but sand. You know, that's the consistency that we're going to make it out to be. So once you have that good consistency and it's all incorporated, now we're going to go ahead and either paddle attach our for our mixing bowl, or we're going to go ahead and grab our whisk. So get to it, and we're going to mix this on medium for about 2 minutes, and then once we've done that, while we're slowly incorporating our wet ingredients, we're not going to do that fast, so we're going to slowly incorporate, get that all blended, scrape down the sides, Mix it for another 20 seconds. Boom, it's done. We can go ahead and start filling our lined cupcake molds, however you choose to do it, whatever silicone, non-stick, whatever your style is. And then, we're going to put those in the oven at that 320 degrees for 25 minutes. And voila, you have your champagne cupcakes. And now we can go to the second part, which is going to be our strawberry filling. Okay, now listen, you can use this strawberry filling for anything. Now don't forget, on those cupcakes, 3/4 full, people. 3/4 full on the cupcakes. Okay, now back to the filling. You can use this strawberry filling for anything you want, but today we're going to be filling it in cupcakes. So after we pull out the centers, and just for a little hack, I just use an apple corer. You could be fancy and buy one of those cupcake punch things and remove it, but sometimes for me it removes just a little bit too much of my cupcake. So I like to do it with just an apple corer and pull out how much I want out of the center of the cupcake so that we can go ahead and prepare them for this filling. And we won't do that until, of course, they have cooled completely. Now, the strawberry filling. We're going to use 1 pound of fresh strawberries, but if you choose to use frozen strawberries, I told you, we're going to keep it easy here. You will not screw it up if you decide to use frozen strawberries. So you're going to go ahead and get your frozen strawberries together. You're going to get a 1/3 cup of sugar. You're going to get a 1/3 cup of water. You're going to get 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And you're going to put to the side 3 tablespoons of cornstarch for our slur. And we are going to need some red food coloring for this one. Your choice, but I'll explain why. Okay, bear with me. So we're going to go ahead and put this in a pot all together. I mean, this is a no-brainer. You're going to put all of your ingredients in there. You're going to let it simmer. Once they start cooking up, you're going to mash them. Use whatever you got to mash them. If you got a potato masher, use that. If you got a wooden spoon, use that. But you're going to mash your strawberries, okay? And you're going to let them reduce by half. Once they reduce by half, you're going to take that cornstarch that you've put to the side. You really can't mess this up making a slur. You're just going to add enough water to make sure that the cornstarch is wet and all incorporated. And then you're going to take that, put it in your strawberry mixture, mix that up until it's well incorporated, let it chill on the low heat for a couple more minutes, and then remove it and let that cool until it is room temperature. Once it is room temperature, you can go ahead and fill those cupcakes with the strawberry filling. Now, the strawberry champagne ombre icing. We're going to need yellow food coloring, pink food coloring, 4 cups of powdered sugar, sifted, people, sifted. 5 tablespoons of champagne, 4 tablespoons of unsalted Canna butter, 2 tablespoons of unsalted regular butter, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 2 teaspoons of strawberry extract. We just want a little of, strawberry, okay? All right, and those 5 tablespoons of champagne, trust me. So now we're going to start putting this all together. We're going to start with our butters. We're going to make sure that we cream those butters and that we cream them well, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate the sifted powdered sugar 1 cup at a time, because we don't want powdered sugar clouds all in our kitchen. Okay, we don't want to make a mess. It'll make a mess. So 1 cup at a time, we're going to incorporate it. And then as we incorporate it, we're going to add all of our wet ingredients. And we're going to keep on mixing that until everything comes together nice and fluffy and delicious. And if you choose to add more powdered sugar to this recipe because you want it more sweet or thicker, you can do that. If you want less, you can do that too. You can't screw this up. Trust me. Now, we're going to go to our piping bags, all right? Now, when we're completing this at the end, once everything's incorporated, we're just going to add a few drops of yellow food coloring. Just do one at a time and mix. And then if you need to add another one, depending upon what kind of dye you're using. Because we want this to be a nice pale yellow icing, okay? Then we're going to take the pink food coloring and put the pink food coloring on the end of a bamboo stick, on the end of a clean spoon, or the end of a knife. But all we need to do is get that pink food coloring on the inside of the piping bag, and we're going to make little pink lines up the piping bag. Then we're going to go ahead and put that yellow buttercream icing in there and use whatever piping tip of your preference on that bad boy. And when it comes out, it is going to have these beautiful hues of pink. Inside of that, it's going to turn to like a pink into an orange and then a yellow. Oh, it's going to be so beautiful. And then you can go ahead and top these with some pearl candies, edible candies, or you can top them with some gold dust. And oh, it's so beautiful, so beautiful. Oh, I hope you enjoy it. And please don't forget to join us next week on another recipe portion of Potheka Infused.